which is our collective commitment to principles of freedom, justice, and democracy.
That is the US Vice President Kamala Harris talking about freedom, justice, and democracy. I'm Rex Ray. Welcome to another episode on Ray Report. So the US Vice President Kamala Harris is in Zambia, the final stop on her week-long tour on the continent of Africa. In Zambia, she discussed a number of issues, including debt restructuring for the country. She also announced a wide range of public-private commitments worth billions of dollars. But the question is, are these commitments coming in for free? Since she's been raising the issue of freedom and justice in the country. Let's take a listen to what the US Vice President said.
There is a long and enduring history of the relationship with Zambia, and it reinforces what you and I have continued to discuss during our time together, which is our collective commitment to principles of freedom, justice, and democracy. I thank the President publicly for co-hosting the Summit for Democracy yesterday. You too must be exhausted hosting that summit and then hosting our delegation, and I thank you. But the summit was extraordinary in the work that you, as a leader of it, did to convene leaders to advance our collective efforts, to strengthen democratic institutions, to protect human rights, to support free and fair elections, and to accelerate the fight against corruption. Zambia has indeed embarked on an ambitious democratic reform agenda under your leadership, Mr. President. And as I have said previously on this trip, democracy and good governance around the world is a priority for the United States, and we will always stand with those who are fighting for those principles. To that end, I am pleased to announce more than $16 million for new programs in Zambia, including a focus on anti-corruption and other reform efforts. Mr. President, thank you. You and I have had extensive conversations about the economy and the work that you have done, and I congratulate on behalf of being a partner with you and just observing what you have done as a leader and as president to put real measures in place to strengthen the economy in Zambia. And the work that you have done is about also implementing an economic reform agenda. We will remain a strong partner to build long-term economic growth and boost investment in Zambia. And we will continue to advocate for a speedy finalization of Zambia's debt treatment and the restructuring. And we have talked extensively about that. Our administration believes the international community needs to help countries such as Zambia regain their footing. So I will reiterate a call that we have made now many times for all bilateral official creditors to provide a meaningful debt reduction for Zambia. At the same time, we must focus forward and on long-term growth. As I've said throughout my trip, I believe that the innovation that is taking place across this continent will unlock incredible economic growth and opportunities for the entire world. I am working during this trip to drive more private sector investment to Zambia and to the continent to accelerate the innovation and entrepreneurship that is already underway. To strengthen business ties, I am pleased to announce that the United States and Zambia will sign a commercial development MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, which will help to develop and implement commercial projects and increase the flow of goods and services between our nations. The President and I also discussed extensively the issue of the climate crisis, and I thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership there as well. You have begun innovative public-private partnerships to focus on protecting forests and to protect and rewild landscapes, which will of course increase biodiversity and sequester carbon. The United States is committed to these types of innovative solutions to support climate adaptation, mitigation, and resilience. In fact, tomorrow I will visit a farm outside of Lusaka to announce $7 billion in public-private sector investments for this continent. And I will then end my comments where I began. My family's time in Lusaka in the 1960s. When I talk to my family about their memories, it is clear about the excitement that existed here in Lusaka at that beginning of that era. And I remain optimistic, inspired by your leadership and the work of your administration. Because what is happening here on the ground, Mr. President, is truly about understanding the potential and seeing what is possible and then working to achieve that. So again, I thank you for the warm welcome. It was good to be with you.
And that was Kamala Harris speaking there. So what are the rationale behind all this juicy offers that she is offering the people of Zambia and the continent of Africa? Let's get interactive in the comment section. I'm Rex Ray, and this is Ray Report. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
This is a mulher. Mulher. Quanto? Chama-se de blanco. Presentation. They look at the presentation of it.